now. Bengaluru-based Open Electric is charging ahead with fresh funding. In fact, it closed its Series A funding round of 100 crores. EV startup is also gearing up to scale its retail footprint to over 150 showrooms across 50 cities. Now, with cutting-edge R&D, over 25 patents and a 1 lakh units per year manufacturing facility, Oben is betting big on electric motorcycles and the future of sustainable transport. In fact, Madhumita Agarwal, founder and CEO of Oben Electric, joins in. Madhumita, thank you very much for taking the time out, joining us here on Startup Central on ET Now. Great to have you on the show. Let me begin by asking you this, Madhumita. How will the 100 crore raised in Series A be allocated between growth, R&D and operational expansion?
Thank you so much, Nivedana, for having me on the show. Yes, I think it's a next milestone for us in the growth story. So definitely right now we are looking at expanding pan-India. So as there are 150 stores currently, if you see, we have almost 30 stores and 20 more coming in this month. And we are looking forward to having further 150 stores across pan-India. And majorly this will be on expansion. That is the first goal. Second would be our, the recent announcement that we had done about our next product, which would be, kind of a 100cc 0-100 platform, which also caters to, the motorcycle segment. So these would be two major activities that will be, used for the funding that we have raised. And definitely having more service centers along with all the stores that will come up and on the 50 plus cities and going deep in the northern area, in more in the south, west, and also some parts of East India. That is what we are planning currently.
All right, Madhumita, talking about plans as well, from 37 retail outlets to 150 plus plan, like you were saying, by financial year 26 is what we're given to understand. What's the strategy, in fact, to scale sustainability across the diverse market landscape? Help us understand that.
Yes. First of all, when you are a vertically integrated company where you are developing, designing, manufacturing, and end-to-end you're controlling the supply chain of all the critical components, that itself, puts you in a higher pedestal because you're able to control the, the margins which should go to vendor, it is flowing to your books. That is the first foremost, when you are building a sustainable business. Today, when I'm talking to you, today I am bill of material positive, which is, I think, in the EV industry at this stage, none of the startups have achieved that. So today that is a big milestone because of our, technology that we have. That is, one is vertical integration. And the second is definitely the battery chemistry, which we uniquely stand in India on the LFP battery in two-wheelers. We are the pioneer in that and we are the only one. So that is the first step, I would say, that towards the, road to profitability. And the nearest milestone that we have, that in this year we will be achieving basically the COGS break-even, which is again a very big milestone as a startup at this growing stage. And definitely in next 2 years, we are targeting to be profitable company and definitely expanding further in different business verticals.
A key operative word that you did use there was profitability. And, that would, of course, get me to my next question, that, in fact, Madhumita, what has convinced investors, in your opinion, to come back for more in the extended round? Was it product traction, demand, or something else?
See, first of all, we are in, first business, it is hardware, which is hard. Then you are in automotive, which is precision manufacturing. It is harder. And you are in EV, which is like a new industry altogether, and it is hardest, right? So what has convinced the investor is, first of all, the product, because the product is the hero, right? Everything else said and done, if the product doesn't work, the product doesn't, has a pull in the market by itself, I think nothing will work out. Any amount of marketing will not work out. I think that's the first reason of investors coming in, and these are all large family offices who have built business in past. They understand the business nuances. So that is the first reason. Second reason is definitely the kind of gross margins we are having, the road to profitability that we are achieving. And that is what a investor looks at. That is this company a company definitely in early stage. None of the companies are profitable. But is there a visibility of profitability, right? That is what the investor looks into. And third, very important in our aspect, what time and again the investors have repeated that we have been capital efficient. A startup, we stand out among all the startup to become capital efficient, highly capital efficient, and achieve what we have achieved today and where we are today with the kind of till date the infusion has been 200 crore and people have just invested 200 crore to bring a product out there. So I think these are three driving forces. Then other is definitely motorcycle, because the next wave in India is motorcycle. So investors are looking at that, yes, when we are in the largest market of motorcycle and there is not no competition, I would say, and it's just warming up. I think that's where the investors are having that confidence. The confidence is building there.
All right. So you're saying essentially what most owners would also state, or creators and founders, given the fact that ultimately it's the product that's the ultimate hero. But you, of course, answered that by stating how there are multiple other aspects, which brings me to my other question of the EV segment, given how you put that into perspective as to why it's such a hard market. And there's so much chatter about where India is also headed in that direction. But where we find ourselves right now in the automotive sector is also, given the chatter of how there will be impact in the EV segment given rare earth. How do you look at that, the impact? How are you also perhaps strategizing that aspect as well?
Yeah. So I think on the rare earth material, I think there is a lot of, the kind of, it's just to clarify, it is a kind of a step that has been added that, China wants to know what is the end use, right? There is an additional step. It is not that it has been banned, that we are not allowed to procure or anything. But it is just an additional step which the industry is also trying to figure out. And it is more focused from a heavy rare earth materials, which doesn't impact Oben as such. But for other purposes, like for other industries where heavy rare earth materials are being used, in that case, a process has been added that, you have to disclose why are you using it, what is the end use. And it is a process, so it will settle in a couple of days, because it is impacting world's second largest market, right? Industry, I would say. So I think definitely there will be certain workaround, there will be certain process smoothening of the processes will happen. And I think we'll also kind of look into it, how it plays out for the entire industry.
All right. In fact, fair enough. All right. Take it played by how that's going to pan out. But Madhumita, considering the fact that we were also talking about the future for Oben, and if you could tell us how close are you to reaching full capacity, and what are the plans for scaling production in that particular aspect?
Yeah. Currently, the strategy or the plan, how we have deployed our capital to set up this facility, current facility which we have, that definitely takes us to 1 lakh unit, which is a very good number, where we will be kind of next 2 years is where we are looking at to kind of maximize this facility. And definitely CY27, in the financial year, we will look at kind of looking at a bigger, larger facility with our larger next round, which in future rounds, funding rounds that we will have. But right now we see that the kind of capex is there, the right kind of facility we have right now, it is good to go for next 2 years. So we don't see that in an immediate requirement of expansion. But yes, in future, definitely the plans are there as we expand and grow.
Okay. But look Looking at where things stand right now, Madhumita, this almost with over, we believe, 25 patents that are already filled. But what are some of the standout proprietary technologies that you could tell us that gives Oben Electric a competitive edge in the EV two-wheeler space for our viewers also to, understand that better?
Yeah. First of all, if you see the entire charging system that we have, right, we are the only player in LFP, lithium ferrous phosphate. All the cars or the three-wheelers, they are all on LFP. And we are the first company to really, a startup, to really take that, bold step because of our, background in EV, for working couple of years in EV. So first of all, we stand out on the technology on the battery, that is the chemistry itself, LFP. And the entire charging system, the fast charger that we have developed in-house, all that has a lot of, strong positioning there we have on the IP. The way we have designed the battery, the way, the battery draws current or other technical aspect of it, which makes it much, much robust as a technology. That is I think, that's the first thing which is under our shed, which we are doing it ourselves. The other is definitely on the motor side. If you see in the segment, we are the highest, in our segment, we are the highest torque motor. So I think that is where the designing and the thought through, the future, kind of a thought that we had put into, that is also a system which we have developed in-house, and that also has a lot of IP, which, helps us to give a very strong positioning from a technology perspective. Then definitely the entire, we would say the fast charger, which is a home fast charger, where we have a domestic socket, where it becomes very easy for the consumer to adapt to it. So that system, the charging cycle system and everything, that also is kind of a proprietary technology. And these patents are just not limited to India, but also to, US and other countries, because motorcycles sell, almost in all the emerging markets, right? So I think these are three major things, and also the vehicle control unit, which is a new addition to our entire R&D platform. I think that these are certain critical components, and also these are high cost item components. So I think these IPs are around this, and then some design and all, which we have introduced. We are the first one to kind of like, a segment leader in that, to introduce a lot of things like space and motorcycle, a boot space and motorcycle, a lot of other things which adds up. Yes, that is how, keeping that customer in front of us, we have designed this product.
Right, so fair enough
so
to
that
say
the
all
transition
your
is
boxes
quite
are getting checked, and they're adding to what you're looking at, the vision in terms of that, Madhumita. But the other aspect of this would be competition, or rather, let me say, legacy players are also entering the EV space, and many new entrants, in fact, post-COVID. So how does Oben Electric plan to position itself in a market like this?
Yeah. So I think if you look at, we are sitting in a world's largest motorcycle market, right? We are talking about some, 13 million kind of numbers, and 11 million is your even commuter segment, right? Which is the major market, which you can say below 1,60,000 rupees. So I think this market itself in the petrol, if you see, there are almost 6 to 7 players, which also doesn't is able to cater to that kind of huge demand. So I think it's a huge market. What needs to be understood, we need more players, definitely. It's a massive market we are talking about. And competition will come. Definitely the competition has to play in that, the segment where we are. That is also important. If someone is selling 2 lakh, 3 lakh rupees bike, it is not my competition, because I'm catering to a very different segment. I'm catering to, commuter segment. So I think market is massive. So competition will be only better, right? Better for consumer, so that there are better products, better technology, better adoption happens.
That's right. In a cricketing term, perhaps the best way to end this conversation would also be, it's a great match when both teams play, even. And that's what makes it interesting. So in a nutshell, how you have summarized that is that it's a big market, and ultimately the competition only gets better because then the consumers also spoiled for choice. It really talks about how the product will stand out ultimately. Like you said, it is the hero and it's for the consumers to decide. But having said that, Madhumita, thank you very much for joining us this evening on ET Now. It's been a pleasure to be in conversation with you, but for the moment, we have to leave it at that.
Yeah.
We're shifting our focus to more, in fact, that we're tracking on Startup Central. So let's tell you